We did talk about Ukraine and about the Russian aggression in Ukraine. Vietnam has a long history and relationship with Russia. We understand that and recognize that. At the same time, I've heard clearly from our Vietnamese interlocutors, and I've heard them state publicly their commitment and the importance that they attach to the basic principles that are also under threat by Russia's aggression, the principles at the heart of the UN Charter: territorial integrity, sovereignty, independence. Vietnam stands strongly for those. They've made that clear. They've said so publicly, and they repeated that in conversation with us today. The major parties in Khartoum some weeks ago reached a very important framework agreement on how to proceed with a transition to civilian government. And there's been real progress in trying to move that forward. I spoke to General Burhan just a couple of days ago on that very topic. And there are still some remaining, important remaining issues that need to be dealt with, but I think there's a real opportunity to move forward on the agreed framework. And certainly that's what we're strongly supporting. It's a fragile situation. There are other actors that may be pushing against that progress, but this is a real opportunity to finally carry forward the civilian-led transition, and one that we and other countries are trying to bolster. So we're very focused on that, along with other partners. On the intelligence leaks, what I can tell you is this: we have engaged with our allies and partners since these leaks came out, and we have done so at high levels, and we have made clear our commitment to safeguarding intelligence and our commitment to our security partnerships. What I've heard so far, at least, is an appreciation for the steps that we're taking, and it's not affected our cooperation. I just haven't seen that, haven't heard that, and of course the investigation is taking its course. There's now, as you know, a suspect in custody, but importantly as well, I know measures being taken to further safeguard information. But to date, based on the conversations I had, I have not heard anything that would affect our cooperation with allies and partners. We continue to seek consular access. That has not yet been granted. It needs to be. This is a Russian obligation, and so we're looking to that. And I've heard some of the comments that have been made, but there's nothing that I have to report on where this might go. We continue to call for his immediate release, and certainly we need to see consular access now. We believe that Vietnam can achieve its goal of becoming a connected, high-income country by 2045 by pursuing growth that lifts up all communities while building resilience to adapt to climate change. We know Vietnam is increasingly vulnerable to threats posed by the climate crisis. As Vietnam takes steps to become a leader on climate energy transition, the United States is investing in that tremendous potential. As part of our bilateral security partnership, which is growing, we're finalizing the transfer of a third U.S. Coast Guard cutter to Vietnam, complementing a fleet of 24 patrol boats and other equipment, training, and operational facilities that we provided since 2016. All of these efforts bolster Vietnam's capacity to contribute to maritime peace and stability in the South China Sea.